Sometimes in parenting, it is important to consider the goal of parenting. Many a times we are caught up in the present moment parenting, which is good, but then we don't know the goal of parenting. And sometimes when you work with a goal in mind, then it is easy because you go measuring how well you're doing as you're going. And even when you reach the goal, or you're not measuring up to the goal that you had set for yourself, then it is easy to backtrack and make the changes that are needful. So the goal of parenting is for you to equip your child with a skill set that will help them live you and live separately, individually, successfully at the right age. I'll say that again in other words. The goal of parenting is to equip your child with a skill set. These are skill set means values, beliefs, a worldview, spiritual nourishment, intellectual, social, emotional skill set that will help them live independently of you successfully. So you're basically helping your child and bringing up your child to live you successfully at the right age. Then you need to equip yourself with the necessary material through parenting forums, through technology, through reading books, through meeting up with other parents that will help you parent your child right, so that so that they are able to leave you and be successful on their own when that time comes. The other thing with parenting is that parents need to heal. We are really wounded as parents, and wounded people wound others. Injured people will always injure other people. Abused people will always abuse other people. And so because of the wounds that we got from our parents, and I'm not saying that our parents did a bad job, our parents did the best that they could with what they had, but we realized that our parents were raised by parents who were raised during the colonial era, where there was a lot of colonization and a lot of dictatorship. And so these were the people that you do as you're told, and you're here to be seen and never to be heard. And so that was passed on to the next generation. And those are wounds. Some of our parents were not even parented by their parents. They were parented by step-parents and neighbors and whoever was available, and were really abused. And so our parents never really had effective parents to model for them what parenting is all about. And so they passed the same. And now we are finding, because of that, the parenting styles that came out of all that parenting were permissive. And a permissive parent is the one who just lets the child do. Because they were raised by a very dictatorial parent, a very authoritarian parent, who was very bossy, who there was no dialogue, a parent who you do as I say, a parent who never allowed the child to even air their opinions, because this was not allowed in their era. And so from that, we have that parent, we have the permissive parent, who is on the other extreme end, where the child does whatever they want. We have a neglectful parent who is not even there to guide the child, who is not there to discipline the child, who is not there to raise that child. The child basically raises himself or herself. And out of all this, from the authoritarian parent, we get very disgruntled adults. From the permissive parents, we get very entitled adults who don't know what no is. From the neglected parents, we get very defiant and very depressed adults. And so these three parenting styles should move up to the authoritative parent, who has time for dialogue, who who disciplines the child right, a parent who has time to dialogue with the child and listen to them and help and listen to what the child is saying, gives time to the child and is there. Their presence is felt and the child feels loved, and this brings up a very responsible adult. So even as you're parenting, check through and see what kind of a parent are you. Are you hurting? Because then you need to heal. And how do you heal? You have to accept But there's a problem. And not that we are blaming our parents or shaming them. They did the best that they could, and that's why we are where we are. But they're not about the next generation, because every generation comes with a letter for the next generation. It's just that sometimes the letters are not read. And so now we are caught up with all this that is going on. So heal as a parent so that you don't wound your children. Because when you wound your children, that brokenness continues. And I'm sure you want to see better for your generation. Another thing with parents is that as they parent with the goal of parenting in mind, they are healing, they are connecting with other parents and learning about parenting. Learn to listen to your children. This generation that we have as our children is a generation that is very vocal. We were not vocal, but ours are talking, and they want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to be chosen. They want to be recognized. And the only way to do that, you can only do that if you have healed as a parent. That is the only way you can allow them near you. But shunning them means they are going to look for somebody else to recognize them, somebody else to see them. So we will have to be vulnerable. We will have to air our scars and show them our scars, because as we show them our scars, we bring them closer. But if all we are showing them are our trophies and their medals, we close that door because they feel like they can't attain the kind of perfection that you want as a parent. So I hope this helps. But in case you need more support, the contacts of how you can reach me are there. Thank you.